The chlorine-scented air hung heavy around the backyard pool. The last echoes of laughter from the raging house party fading into the night like smoke from a dying bonfire. Adam floated on his back, staring up at the starless Los Angeles sky, his body numb from too many shots of tequila and the relentless bass that had thumped through his veins for hours. Then, without warning, a splash erupted beside him. Jake, his best friend since freshman orientation, surfacing like a ghost from the deep end, eyes wild and desperate. In one fluid, frantic motion, Jake grabbed Adam's wrist, yanked him upright, and crushed their mouths together in a kiss that burned hotter than the California sun ever could. It wasn't gentle. It was a collision, teeth clashing, hands gripping like lifelines in a storm, Jake's fingers digging into Adam's wet shoulders as if letting go meant drowning. Adam's mind blanked. Every buried confession he'd swallowed over 4 years of late-night study sessions, road trips to Joshua Tree, and stolen glances during football games exploding in that single, saltwater-tanged moment. But as Jake pulled back, gasping, his face twisted into something unrecognizable. Regret, terror, a flash of pure, unfiltered hunger, before he shoved Adam away with a force that sent ripples across the pool. "Fuck, Adam. I didn't mean..." Jake's voice cracked, raw and ragged, like he just confessed to murder. And in that instant, Adam knew. This wasn't the end of their friendship. It was the spark that would torch everything to ash. Adam treaded water, his heart slamming against his ribs like it was trying to escape the cage of his chest. The pool lights cast eerie blue glows on Jake's face, turning his sharp cheekbones into shadows that hid the boy Adam had loved in silence for so long. They'd met at UCLA's orientation barbecue 3 years ago. Adam, the quiet psych major from a sleepy suburb in Oregon, nursing a lukewarm beer and feeling like an outsider in his own skin. Jake, the golden boy kinesiology jock from Orange County, all easy grins and sun-bleached hair, slinging an arm around Adam's shoulders like they'd been brothers forever. "Dude, you look like you need a wingman," Jake had said, and just like that, the invisible wall crumbled. From there, it was seamless. Weekends at Venice Beach, tossing frisbees until the sunset bled orange into the Pacific. Study marathons in Jake's cramped Westwood apartment, fueled by in-and-out runs and Jake's off-key renditions of Springsteen covers that made Adam laugh until his sides ached. Jake was the one who dragged him to his first Pride parade last June, chalking it up to solidarity, bro. But Adam caught the way Jake's eyes lingered on the rainbow flags, the couples holding hands without a care. Adam never pushed it. He buried his feelings deep, told himself it was enough to be Jake's shadow, the reliable best friend who patched up Jake's heart after every breakup with girls who never quite fit. Tonight's party was supposed to be their last hurrah before graduation. The house belonged to Tyler, a frat bro from their dorm days, and it had been a blur of red solo cups, thumping EDM, and bodies grinding under string lights strung across the palm trees. Adam had stuck to the edges, nursing a crush on a cute barista from the coffee shop near campus, but his eyes always found Jake, shirtless in board shorts, laughing with a beer in hand, the envy of every girl in the room. As the crowd thinned past midnight, Jake had cornered him by the keg. "Pool time, Adamski. Last swim before we grow up and shit." Adam followed because he always did. Now, here they were, alone in the water, the betrayal hanging between them like fog off the Santa Monica Bay. "Didn't mean what?" Adam finally choked out, his voice barely above a whisper. He swam closer, ignoring the way his pulse roared in his ears. Jake backed against the pool wall, water lapping at his collarbone, his broad chest heaving. Up close, Adam could see the faint scar above Jake's eyebrow from that skateboarding wipeout sophomore year, the one Adam had cleaned with shaking hands in the ER waiting room. Fuck, man." Jake ran a hand through his dripping hair, eyes darting to the sliding glass doors where faint party stragglers milled inside. "The tequila, the music, it's all messed up in my head." He laughed, but it came out hollow, brittle. Adam's stomach twisted. This was Jake, the guy who'd held him through panic attacks after Adam's parents cut him off for coming out, who'd driven 3 hours to Big Sur just to stargaze when Adam's first boyfriend ghosted him. Jake, who texted "miss you already" after every summer break. But the kiss, God, the kiss. It wasn't some drunken fumble. Jake had poured everything into it, years of tension Adam had mistaken for bromance, the kind that straight guys throw around like confetti. Adam reached out, his fingers brushing Jake's arm, slick and warm. "Talk to me, Jake. For real this time. No bullshit." Jake flinched, but he didn't pull away. Instead, he closed his eyes, leaning his forehead against Adam's shoulder in a gesture so intimate it stole Adam's breath. "I've been lying to myself," he murmured, voice muffled against wet skin. "To you, to everyone. That night at Pride, seeing you light up like that, it flipped something. But I'm scared, Adam. My family's all man up bullshit. Dad's got his golf buddies asking when I'm settling down with some blonde. And you're the one person I can't lose." Adam's world tilted. Hope flickered, fragile as a match in the wind. He tilted Jake's chin up, their faces inches apart, breaths mingling in the humid night air. "You won't lose me. Not ever." And then Adam kissed him back, slow, deliberate, pouring every unspoken "I love you" into the press of lips, the slide of tongues. Jake groaned, a sound low and wrecked, his hands roaming Adam's back, pulling him flush against the pool edge. They moved like they'd rehearsed it, bodies slotting together in the shallow end, water sluicing around them as shirts were tugged free and discarded on the deck. Jake's mouth trailed fire down Adam's neck, nipping at the hollow of his throat, while Adam's fingers traced the ridges of Jake's abs, dipping lower to the waistband of his shorts. It was messy, urgent. Hands exploring uncharted territory, gasps swallowed in the dark. When Jake finally freed them both, stroking with a reverence that bordered on worship, Adam arched into it, whispering Jake's name like a prayer. Afterward, they floated tangled together, the water cooling the flush on their skin. Jake's head rested on Adam's chest, heartbeat syncing with the lap of waves against tile. "This is us now," Jake said softly, tracing lazy circles on Adam's hip. "No more hiding." Adam smiled into the darkness, believing it for the first time. Dawn crept in pink fingers over the Hollywood Hills as they climbed out, wrapping in forgotten towels, stealing kisses like teenagers. Inside, the house was a wreckage of cups and confetti, but they crashed on the couch, limbs entwined, whispering futures. Grad school in San Francisco, road trips up the coast, a life where labels didn't matter. But morning brought the crash. Tyler stumbled in at 8 a.m., hungover and bleary, spotting their rumpled clothes by the pool. "Whoa, what the hell happened out there? You two look like you wrestled an alligator." Laughter bubbled up, easy at first. Jake sat up, ruffling Adam's hair. "Nah, man, just a bromance gone wild. Tequila makes you do stupid shit." Adam froze, the words landing like ice water. "Bromance?" Jake's eyes met his for a split second, pleading, almost apologetic, before he turned away, clapping Tyler on the back. "Swear, bro, Adam, here's my ride or die. Nothing changes that." The room spun. Adam forced a chuckle, but inside, something fractured. He excused himself to the bathroom, splashing cold water on his face, staring at his reflection. Eyes red-rimmed, lips swollen from Jake's. Lies. It was all lies to save face. By noon, the group chat blew up, photos from the party circulating, blurry shots of Jake and Adam in the pool, arms around each other, looking too damn intimate. "Dude, you finally sealed the deal with that barista?" someone joked. Jake's reply, "Haha, nah. Just my boy Adam being a clingy bitch as usual." Betrayal clawed up Adam's throat. He confronted Jake in the kitchen, voice low while others raided the fridge. "What the fuck was that? Last night?" Jake's face hardened, glancing over his shoulder. "Keep it down. It was a mistake. Okay? Heat of the moment. We're good, right? Best friends." Adam's fists clenched. "Best friends don't fuck and then pretend it was nothing." Jake stepped closer, voice a hiss. "And best friends don't out each other to a bunch of drunk assholes." "Drop it, Adam. For both our sakes." The words hit like a slap. Adam stormed out, tires screeching as he peeled away from the curb, the city blurring through tears. He drove aimlessly through Echo Park, past murals of queer icons and coffee shops with pride flags still fluttering in the breeze. How had he been so blind? Jake wasn't just scared, he was ashamed. Of him. Of them. Days blurred into a haze. Adam holed up in his off-campus apartment, ignoring Jake's texts. "We cool. Talk to me, man." Deleting voicemails laced with that fake buddy charm. Classes dragged. His thesis on attachment theory mocked him from the laptop screen. Attachment. Yeah, right. He'd attached himself to a ghost. Then came the invitation. Tyler's legendary grad bash at a rooftop bar in downtown LA. The whole crew, open bar, DJ spinning tracks that would make you forget your exes. Adam almost binned it. But a masochistic spark ignited, maybe closure, maybe one last shot to call bullshit. He showed up in a fitted black button-down, hair styled just so, channeling every ounce of the confidence he'd faked since coming out at 18. The rooftop pulsed with energy, string lights twinkling against the skyline, the Griffith Observatory a distant silhouette. Laughter rose over the clink of glasses, bodies swaying to a remix of Levitating. Adam spotted Jake across the crowd, surrounded by the usual suspects, a beer in hand and a girl, some sorority type named Becca, draped on his arm. Their eyes locked, and Jake's smile faltered, just for a beat. Adam grabbed a gin and tonic, the burn steadying him as he wove through the throng. "Hey," he said, sliding up beside Tyler. "Place looks killer." Tyler grinned, sloshing his drink. "Adamski, thought you'd ghost us after the pool apocalypse." Speaking of, Jake's been weird as fuck since. Keeps staring at his phone like it's gonna bite him. Adam's grip tightened on his glass. "Yeah? Wonder why?" Before Tyler could probe, Becca tottered over, giggling. "Jake, babe, dance with me." She tugged him toward the floor, but Jake hesitated, gaze flicking back to Adam. Guilty, hungry, the same storm from that night in the pool. The night wore on, a slow simmer. Adam flirted with the barista from the party, real name, Eli, exchanging numbers under the pretense of casual chat. But his attention snagged on Jake, who downed shots like they were antidotes, laughing too loud, touching Becca too possessively. By 11, the alcohol loosened tongues. Someone cranked up the mic for a truth or dare circle. Stupid, nostalgic, the kind of game that birthed regrets. Tyler pointed at Jake. "Truth. Biggest secret you've been hiding?" The group hooped, eyes gleaming. Jake shifted, sweat beating on his temple despite the breeze. I once stole my mom's car for a joyride to Vegas. Age 16. Booze and eye rolls. Lame. Then Becca, tipsy and bold. "Dare you to kiss the person here you've wanted to most but never did." Silence dropped like a guillotine. Jake's face drained of color, eyes locking on Adam across the circle. The air thickened, charged with unspoken electricity. Becca laughed, oblivious. "Come on, it's just fun." Jake stood, wobbling slightly, and crossed the rooftop in 3 strides. The crowd parted, murmurs rippling. Adam's breath hitched as Jake loomed over him, close enough to smell the whiskey on his breath. "Truth is," Jake said, voice carrying over the music, "it's you. Always has been." Gasps erupted. Phones whipped out, flashes popping like fireworks. Jake cupped Adam's face, echoing that poolside grip, and kissed him. Not frantic this time, but deep, claiming, a public declaration that shattered the night. Adam melted into it, hands fisting Jake's shirt, the rooftop fading to just them. But as cheers swelled, confused, excited, Jake pulled back, whispering, "I'm sorry, for everything." Then, in a move that stunned the crowd into silence, he dropped to one knee, fumbling a keychain from his pocket. Not a ring, but the spare to his apartment, engraved with their inside joke. "Ride or die. Move in with me," he said, loud enough for all to hear. "No more hiding. Be my everything." The rooftop exploded. Hugs, screams. Tyler yelling, "Holy shit." Plot twist. Becca stood frozen, tears streaking her mascara, before bolting for the stairs. Adam stared down at Jake, heart in his throat. Betrayal? This was redemption, raw and reckless. He yanked Jake up, kissing him again amid the chaos, tasting salt and freedom. But the aftershocks hit like an earthquake. By morning, the video was viral on every UCLA group chat, TikTok feeds lighting up with Pulka's confession and besties to boyfriends. Shocked everyone didn't cover it. Classmates who'd side-eyed Adam's quiet queerness now flooded his DMs with rainbow emojis and, about time, Jake's phone blew up too. His dad leaving voicemails thick with disappointment. "Son, we need to talk." Old high school buddies cracking jokes that landed like punches. Yet Jake didn't flinch. He showed up at Adam's door at 7 a.m., coffee in hand, eyes bloodshot but determined. "I meant it. All of it. They spent the day barricaded inside, binging bad action flicks on Adam's sagging couch. Jake's head in his lap as Adam carted fingers through his hair. It felt surreal, normalcy laced with novelty. Jake talked, really talked, peeling back layers Adam had only glimpsed. The pressure from his coach dad to man up, the hookups with girls that left him hollow, the way watching Adam dance at that Pride afterparty had cracked his denial wide open. I betrayed you in that kitchen, Jake admitted, voice thick. Scared shitless you'd see me as some poser. But losing you? That's the real terror. Adam traced the scar on Jake's brow, a talisman of their history. You almost did. But here we are. He leaned down, sealing it with a kiss that lingered, soft and sure. That night they made love properly. Not rushed in a pool, but slow, exploratory, in Adam's unmade bed. Jake's touches were reverent, mapping every inch like a cartographer charting new lands. Whispers of beautiful and mine punctuating gasps. Adam arched under him, vulnerability blooming into trust, their bodies sinking in a rhythm that felt like home. Graduation week loomed, a whirlwind of cap and gown fittings and farewell brunches. The scandal simmered. Becca unfollowed them both. Tyler threw an impromptu, bromance upgrade party that drew wary stares from conservative alums. But support poured in too. Eli the barista shot his number with a wink. If it crashes, hit me up. Jake's little sister, Mia, FaceTimed from OC, squealing, finally, I knew you two were endgame. Yet cracks spiderwebbed beneath the surface. Jake's dad insisted on a family dinner post-ceremony, the kind laced with passive-aggressive jabs over steak at some overpriced Irvine chop house. Adam tagged along as the friend, but the tension crackled like static. Mr. Harlan, broad-shouldered ex-Marine, all crew cut and khakis, eyed Adam over his wineglass. So Jake tells me you're seeing someone? That's great. Stability's key before med school. Jake choked on his mashed potatoes. Dad. Mia kicked him under the table, but Mr. Harlan plowed on. Just saying, son. This town chews up distractions. Focus on the game plan. His gaze slid to Adam, not hostile exactly, but appraising, like Adam was a variable to eliminate. Later, in the car, Jake punched the dash. Fucking dinosaur. He cornered me last week. Said if I experimented, it'd ruin my shot at ortho residency. Tears pricked his eyes, rare and raw. Adam pulled over on the 405, the freeway humming around them, and held him as sobs racked his frame. I love you, Adam murmured into his hair. We'll figure it. But doubt crept in like fog off the bay. Adam's own family. Distant since his coming out, his mom sending birthday cards with Bible verses tucked inside. Offered no buffer. He threw himself into job hunting, landing an interview at a Santa Monica nonprofit counseling queer youth. A beacon in the uncertainty. Jake aced his MCAT retake, but nights grew strained. Arguments over Jake's late gym sessions. It's networking, babe. Adam's quiet withdrawals. You're pulling away again. The breaking point came 2 weeks post-grad, at Mia's beach bonfire in Huntington. The crew assembled. Tyler roasting marshmallows, Eli showing up fashionably late with craft IPAs. Under a sky bruised purple. Jake and Adam arrived hand in hand. A united front. But whispers slithered. Jake's old teammate, Brock, nursing a grudge since the video, muttering attention whores to his girlfriend. As flames crackled, casting golden flickers on sun-weathered skin, Brock ambushed. Yo, Harlan. That pool stunt. Props for the drama, but real talk. You doing this to go viral? 'Cause it screams fake as hell. Laughter rippled, uneasy. Jake's jaw ticked. Back off, man. It's real. Brock smirked, scrolling his phone. Is it? Check this. He thrust the screen forward. Screenshots of Jake's private DMs to Becca. Post-kiss. Missed you last night. That was just for show. Adam's cool. But you know me. Dated 3 days after the rooftop. The fire popped. A punctuation to the silence. Adam's blood iced. Jake snatched the phone, face ashen. What the? I never. Brock shrugged. She posted it. Said you begged her to keep quiet. Guess the cat's out. Chaos erupted shouts. Mia yelling at Brock to leave. Tyler pulling Adam back as fury boiled. But Adam wrenched free, staring at Jake. The betrayal a fresh wound gaping wide. Tell me it's fake, he whispered, voice shattering. Jake's eyes filled, hands trembling. After Dad's call, I panicked. Told her it was a phase to save face. But Adam, I swear. Save face. Adam laughed, bitter and broken. That's all I am? Your phase. He spun, boots crunching sand as he stormed toward the waves, salt stinging his eyes. The ocean roared, indifferent, as he sank to his knees, waves lapping his jeans. How many times could a heart fracture before it stayed shattered? Jake followed, dropping beside him, voice wrecked. Please, I was wrong again. But I choose you. Every time. He reached out, but Adam flinched. Actions, Jake. Not words. Dawn broke as they sat there, the bonfire's embers dying behind them. Adam's phone buzzed, job offer email, glowing in the half-light. A sign? Or irony? He stood, brushing sand from his legs. I need space. Real space. Figure out who you are without the mask. Jake nodded, tears carving tracks down his face. I'll wait, however long. Adam walked away, the pier lights blurring into halos. Betrayal twice over, but this time it forged something steel in his core. Not hate, understanding. Love wasn't a poolside impulse or a rooftop dare. It was choosing daily through the wreckage. Months carved themselves into Adam's bones like wind on canyon walls. He took the Santa Monica gig, trading Westwood's chaos for a glass-walled office overlooking the pier, where he spent days untangling the stories of kids much like his younger self. Lost in labels, loved ones' expectations, the ache of unrequited everything. It grounded him, those sessions. A 16-year-old named Luca sketching rainbows on his intake form, whispering, "Is it wrong to love my best friend?" Adam's throat tightened every time. Nah, kid. Wrong's what they make you feel about it. He moved into a studio in Venice, boards propped against the wall, windows open to the salty crash of surf. No Jake, no texts answered, no late-night drives. Just Adam, rebuilding. Morning runs at 6 a.m., yoga classes where lithe instructors with kind eyes flirted shamelessly. Brunches with Eli that bloomed into something tentative, easy. Eli was safe. Tattooed barista with a laugh like summer thunder. No baggage heavier than a bad ex or two. They hooked up once, lazy and exploratory on Eli's futon. But Adam pulled back after, the ghost of Jake's touch lingering like a bruise. Jake, meanwhile, vanished into the ether. Whispers filtered through mutuals. He deferred med school for a gap year coaching JV football in OC, crashing with Mia, hitting AA meetings for the Tequila Demons. Tyler texted sporadically, "Dude's a mess, but owns it. Miss you, man." Adam archived them unread. Fall turned to winter, LA's mild chill wrapping the city in a deceptive hug. Adam threw himself into work, co-leading a youth retreat in the San Bernardino Mountains. Cabins nestled in pine, bonfires under star-pricked skies. One night, around a crackling pit, he shared his story for the first time. The pool, the kiss, the shatter. Kids leaned in, rapt, a girl with blue-streaked hair hugging him after. "You're brave," she said. Adam blinked back heat. Brave? He'd survived. That was enough. But survival's a lonely road. Holidays hit hard, Thanksgiving solo with takeout turkey. Christmas Eve walking the boardwalk, fairy lights twinkling on Muscle Beach palms. He called his mom, voice steady, "Merry Christmas. Love you." Her paws stretched. Then, "Love you too, honey. Proud of you." First crack in the ice. Progress. Spring bloomed riotous. Jacarandas painting streets violet. Pride season revving like an engine. Adam volunteered at the festival, manning a booth for his nonprofit, rainbow flag pinned to his vest. Eli tagged along, their vibe shifting to friends with benefits, no strings chafing. Then, amid the parade's thump of bass and glitter, a familiar voice cut through. "Adam." He turned, heart lurching. Jake, thinner, hair longer, eyes shadowed but clear. No booze haze, just him in a faded UCLA tee and jeans, hands shoved in pockets. "Hey!" Adam managed, pulse skittering. Jake swallowed, saw the booth, thought, "Maybe we could talk? If you're free." Eli raised a brow, excusing himself to the beer garden. Adam nodded, leading Jake to a quieter stretch by the Ferris wheel, the wheel's lights spinning lazy arcs overhead. "What's this?" "Amends," Jake said, voice rough. He pulled a letter from his back pocket, folded crisp. "Wrote it 100 times. Burned 99. This one's real. He handed it over, stepping back to give space. Adam unfolded it under the glow. Pages of scrawled confession. Regrets inked black, apologies woven with memories. The pool night, raw and unfiltered. I kissed you because I couldn't not, but I betrayed us both by running. The DMs. Stupidest lie I ever told. Hated myself more than you could. And forward. Therapy twice a week. Coming out to dad, he didn't disown me, but it's rocky. Coaching kids. Seeing you in them. Taught me love's not a phase. It's the fight. Adam's vision blurred. Why now? Because I love you. Still. Always. But if space is what you need, Jake's voice cracked. I'll respect it. Just know I'm here. Changed. For real. Adam folded the letter, tucking it away. I believe you. A beat. But I need to know it's not pity. Or guilt. Jake's eyes fierce. It's you. The man who saw me first. Who loved me when I was too chicken shit to love back. The wheel creaked behind them, couples silhouetted in gondolas. Adam stepped closer, breath mingling. Show me. Jake did. Pulling him into a kiss that echoed the pool but transcended it. Tender, unhurried, tasting of redemption and second chances. The crowd's roar faded. It was just them. Hands linking, worlds realigning. They took it slow. Coffee dates bleeding into beach walks. Jake meeting Eli. Cool dude. Glad you're happy, man. With zero jealousy. Adam introduced Jake to his kids at the center, Jake volunteering to coach basketball. His patience a quiet revelation. Mr. Harlan came around gradual. Awkward lunches where he grilled Adam on that counseling stuff. Thawing to call me Tom. Mia through a barbecue, toasting to plot twists that stick. But romance isn't linear. Shadows lingered. One night, post-dinner at a hole-in-the-wall taqueria in Boyle Heights. Jake froze mid-bite, staring at a TV replaying an old Pride clip. Their kiss, frozen in viral eternity. Still freaks me out, he admitted later, tangled in sheets at Adam's. The exposure, like everyone's waiting for me to fuck up. Adam traced his spine. Then we build walls. Together. Vulnerability as strength, humanistic, messy, true. Summer peaked in a road trip echo. Joshua Tree, tent pitched under Milkway stars. They hiked the hidden valley trail at dawn, sweat slick and laughing, collapsing in a shaded cleft to share water and whispers. Marry me? Jake asked. Not with a ring but a braided bracelet from desert agave. Rough and eternal. Adam's laugh bubbled free. Yes, but only if we write our own vows, no till death bullshit. Till we choose, every day. Fall brought med school for Jake. UCSF, a haul up the coast. But they made it work. Weekend flights, FaceTime foreplay, letters in Jake's locker like talismans. Adam's center expanded. A grant-funded beacon for stories like theirs. The shock that rippled from that pool? It didn't fade, it evolved. From betrayal's sting to a testament. Love shocks, wounds, heals. And in the end, it's the choosing that humanizes us, turning what happened next into this is what we built. 2 years later, the shocks kept coming. Not seismic rifts, but the quiet quakes of growth. Adam and Jake's wedding was a DIY affair on a Malibu bluff. Waves crashing below like applause. No tuxes, just linen shirts rolled to elbows. Lays of plumeria from Mia's garden. Guests. 50 deep. A mosaic of queer kids from the center-clutching programs like Shields. Tyler as best man cracking jokes. From pool pranks to this? Miracles happen. Eli toasting with a wink. Told you he'd come around. Tom's speech stumbled. Family's what you fight for. Ending in a gruff hug that left Adam misty. They honeymooned in Portland. Rainy hikes through fern-choked forests. Cozying in airbums with vinyl spins of Fleetwood Mac. Jake proposed a toast over cider. To the best friend who became my everything. Adam clinked glasses, heart full. To shocks that stick. Back in the bay, life layered on. Jake buried in rotations, ortho scrubs stained with coffee, late nights charting cases. While Adam's nonprofit scaled. A second site in Oakland buzzing with after-school programs. They adopted a rescue mutt, Luna. A wiry terrier mix who chewed Jake's sneakers but slept curled between them. Domesticity suited them. Farmers market Sundays, arguing over podcast picks on commutes. Adam's true crime versus Jake's sports deep dives. But conflict simmers eternal. Jake's residency grind unearthed old demons. Stress-fueled benders avoided, but resentment bubbling. You get to clock out. I'm drowning in debt and dickhead attendings. Adam bit back, exhaustion fraying his patience. And I'm holding space for everyone else's trauma while swallowing mine. Fights flared, dishes slammed, silences stretching like taffy. Ending in makeup sex fierce and forgiving, bodies reminding what words fumbled. Betrayal echoed faint, a scar itch. Becca resurfaced once. A LinkedIn connection request laced with, "Congrats? Water under the bridge?" Jake blocked her. Adam shrugged it off. Deeper cuts came internal. Jake's closeted cousin outing himself at Thanksgiving. The family imploding in blame. "See? This is why I hid," Jake snapped later, pacing their Haight-Ashbury flat. Adam pulled him down. "Nah, this is why we fight for the ones coming after." Humanism wove through. Volunteering at a Castro clinic, Jake splinting a trans kid's sprained wrist while Adam facilitated a group on healthy attachments. One evening, Luca, now 18, bold with purple hair, DM'd Adam. "Got into UCLA. Thanks for believing." Attached. A photo of him kissing his boyfriend at orientation. Adam showed Jake, tears pricking. "We did that." Climax brewed subtle. A med school gala, black tie schmooze in a glittering Embarcadero ballroom. Jake, polished in a borrowed suit, networked with donors, charm dialed high. Adam mingled, pride swelling at Jake's poise, until a silver-haired surgeon cornered him. "Harlan's boy? Talented, but that lifestyle. Distracting, no?" The word slithered, paternal poison. Adam's blood heated. He found Jake mid-laugh with a board member, tugged him aside. "Your mentor just implied I'm your distraction." Clocks ticking on the homophobia tolerance. Jake's face fell. "Shit. He's old school. I'll handle it." But Adam's fuse, worn thin by microaggressions, snapped. He marched back, voice steady. "Actually, Dr. Ellis, my lifestyle is loving your colleague without apology. And if that's a distraction, maybe upgrade your bedside manner." Gasps rippled. Jake's hand found his, squeezing solidarity. The fallout? Whispers, a formal complaint Jake quashed with HR charm. But it bonded them fiercer. Vows renewed in whispers. "We choose this." Every shock. Years folded forward. Luna grayed at the muzzle. They fostered teens. Chaotic joy amid homework wars. Jake specialized in sports med, opening a clinic in the mission for underserved athletes, queer soccer leagues, immigrant boxers. Adam keynote at conferences, his book on romantic betrayals to lifelong loves, a quiet bestseller, royalties funding scholarships. A final shock, at 35, adopting twin girls from the foster system, Sophia and Luna. The second, a nod, wide-eyed and wary. Their ceremony in Golden Gate Park drew the village. Tom walking them down the aisle in tiny dresses, Mia officiating with tears. "You too," she said. Turned a poolside fumble into a legacy. Parenting cracked them open. Sleepless nights, tantrums tamed with patience Jake learned from coaching, story times where Adam wove tales of boys who loved boys and shocked the world. Sophia's first crush on a classmate sparked the talk, Jake fumbling adorably. "Love's a choice, Mija. Big, brave one." Tragedy brushed close once. Jake's diagnosis, early-stage lymphoma, caught in routine scans. The world tilted, chemo chairs and hospital jello blurring days. Adam held vigil, reading Springsteen lyrics aloud, their hands linked to vein. Remission came 6 months later, a bald-headed Jake grinning from his bed. "Told you I'd fight." In quiet aftermaths, they reflected. Betrayal's gift was clarity. Romance, not fireworks but embers, stirred daily. Humanistic arc. No perfect bows, just resilient threads weaving forward. On their 10th anniversary, back at that Malibu bluff, waves eternal, Jake pulled Adam close. "What happened next?" he murmured, echoing the old title. Adam smiled, wind-tousled. "This. Shocking, huh?" And in the sunset's gold, they kissed, deep, unending. A story still unfolding.